many pounds is it on?
8 pounds. This is my soccer van, 95 Odyssey. With one of my old H22 motors back in the days. Built by KG Engineering. Still running.
So what is this tuned on?
Honda was the highest horsepower motor in 1996.
What year are we in?
Shit, what year are we in? 2015? What's that? 19 years ago?
So how much power did it make?
This one made 680. This one beat Charles, beat Stefan's car, everything. This one was like 680, and the more people we put on JG's dyno, you know how like the dyno jet, you gotta put like 20 people inside the car to make more power? The more power we put in the car, the more power it made. But we ran out of people stuff in the car. We had like 12 people in the car, like 2 guys on the shock tower, 4 guys on each door, 2 guys in the trunk, and I don't even remember Javier. It was like 4 guys in itself already.
How long you been racing?
Shit. Since 90, I would say 93. As far as events goes, I've been in street racing since 89.
What car did you start off with?
In the beginning?
Yeah, what was your first race car?
85 Honda CRX HF. I spent so much money on that 12-valve motor, it didn't get me anywhere. So I ended up putting a twin cam 1.6cc motor from Japan. Started with a twin side carburetors. Got bored after that. So we turboed it, and that's where everything started. And after I turboed it, I tried every kind of turbo on that car, but eventually I ended up with Turbonetics because they're the only company that helped me out on trying to find what I'll be happy with, which is bigger. I mean, none of these Honda guys would be running these big turbos right now if it wasn't for Turbonetics. All the stuff that's based on the turbocharger today was all on Turbonetics' time and helping out the racers. Because if you look in 2000, all the fast cars out there, Chris Rado, Isa Kubo, Kenny Tran, and even the East Coast guys, it's all Turbonetics.
What engine managements were around back then?
Electromotive, Tech 2, DFI, Speed Pro, which is like a step up from that, and then we eventually got into Motex. That was about it. But now, I wish we had Honda back then. I would have sold a lot more Honda turbo kits with the Honda stuff. And if Javier Luarca can go quick on a Honda, on a fuel management system that's under $1,000, come on, $8,000 for a Motec, $1,000 for Honda, and we're talking about what? Somebody running 850s to somebody that's running 880s in California track. So
why are you trying to make a comeback?
I'm not trying to make a comeback. My daughter just got her license, and I took her to the track actually before she got her license. She had a permit. I took her to drive that SI, and she went 14s. So I guess one of my goals in life is before I croak, I gotta see one of my kids in a race car, or at least try to drive one. Actually that's what led me away, is when the NHRA stuff got into the more corporate scene, where they took all the big boys' money, the GM guys, Mopar guys, you know. That's when I started getting away from the racing scene, because I can't compete. We didn't have any Honda backing. So for us to compete against those guys that's got $1 million budget, the guys that shows up at the racetrack with a full 18-wheeler full of just motors and trannies or backups, that's when I said, oh man, you know, I'm gonna take my money now and buy some houses and retire.
Let's say Honda finally stepped in and decided to help the sport compact drag racing scene. Would that make you come back into the driver's seat?
No, I don't think I'll pass my physical. I got a bad heart now. I have diabetes, got a bad heart. That's why I gotta train my 16-year-old. If they want to help my 16-year-old, you know, we'll get back in the scene. There's a couple of people out there already trying to help us, and you know, that hasn't forgotten about us. But it'd be nice. I mean, if Honda steps in, but you know, throughout the years, it's always been, I think this industry or this sport has always been a white man sport. You know what I mean? Because if you look at back then when we started, we never got the big contracts like, you know, Stefan Papadakis, Sean Carlson. You know, it's like we're not presentable to be in a market or in an advertisement. So it's still a white man's world, I think.
Well, things change now, right?
I don't know. I haven't been in it. You tell me.
Are you all for equality?
Yeah, I got a 16-year-old girl driving the car. So hopefully, if that doesn't bring you exposure, I don't know what will. '85 at 189 at Roy Hill Drag School when I started doing the school, because I was supposed to drive the first import to go 200. Turbonetics was building that car. That was in 2001. That's when we're building that car to be the first import to go 200s. They sent me to school, Roy Hill, and right when I was getting ready to get in the driver's seat, some non-import guys stepped in the scene and kind of like, what was that thing we were talking about earlier? Like sleeping with somebody or something?
Oh, when people sleep around?
Yeah, they offered to sleep around with the right people, and they ended up getting the driver's seat for that. That was kind of messed up, because that was one of the reasons I think it put a wall in our progress. Because me and Lisa at that time, we were dominating the scene in 2000. At the end of 2000, when we set the mile-an-hour record of 165, we were looking good for 2001, and that's when we started. It's when all the big corporations starts coming in. Lisa got offered a job by Saturn, gave her the big bucks, and I got a job offer from somewhere, and sure enough, that put a hold on our progress on these cars, on the Hondas. All that job offer was for these new companies to get from point A to point B at the quickest possible, you know, scenario, which is hire the fast guys, drive a Saturn, use Gary Kubo's head to go fast, give Lisa the driving job like the Saturn team, go quick, and then when they finally became the first to go sevenths, oh, guess what, Lisa? We don't need you anymore. Let me put these, you know, let me hire your old crew chief, and let me put this guy from Virginia, he's got blonde hair, to be, you know, more presentable. And that's what it killed it. It killed it for everybody. I guess those are one of the regrets I have, is just we should have just continued with what we had instead of letting the outsiders come in and you know, flash the carrot. Because if we would have stayed in it, then eventually we would have hit probably that's 200 mile an hour mark in 7 seconds on a non-wheelie bar car. I guess that's just the way it is. It's just, you know, if you're a new company, just like what happened with, there's a company that I was helping out all these racers back in the days. They all went quick. And if you're a new company and you compete against me, just try to offer those guys money instead of helping a no-name Joe Blow go quick and set records, you might as well spend your money on you know, a famous guy already that's going quick. Why would you help somebody and spend all this money and time and resources to try to go quick when there's already a fast guy out there that's willing to take your money and you know, quickest way to advertise? But I'm not hating, I just have regrets.
So if you could do it all over again, and let's say you were in that part of your life where somebody offers you a contract, or you can continue to do it on your own in a sense, what would you do?
From the regrets I have, I probably would just continue to do it on my own. Run my own show, rather than you know, taking that paycheck. I mean, I had a, just like in business, when I started getting into real estate, one of my mentor, Pat Spears, they used to own Spearco. I don't know if you're familiar with Spearco intercoolers. She's my biggest mentor. She's the one that taught me how to do business. And when she found out that, you know, I was cashing out on RevHard and buying houses, I can still remember her talking to me and telling me, I don't know about this, Myles. I mean, you should stick to what you're good at. And back then, you know, when you're doing real estate deals, you're looking at 6 figures at a time. So I'm like, but now I know why she said to stick with what you're good at, because it's hard to progress on something, you know, if you're really good at something else. It's just, but right now I don't even know what I'm good at. I'm just trying to experiment on something.